Hey there, Syndrones. Today's topic is start something. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone. This is my channel where I vlog about synthesizers. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, keep up with all of my synth adventures, and join the community here that loves talking about the human side of synthesis. Wow, it's great to be back talking with you guys again. Notice how I said with you guys, because you know what? You guys are my friends, and I try to answer you guys in the comments as much as possible. The last couple of weeks have been really busy for my family because we've been starting something. We have been starting something new in our life. My wife and I, we are looking for a new home. And you know what? That's what this topic is all about today, about starting something. You know, my wife and I, we procrastinated for a real long time because it's been a long time since we actually went through the motions of getting a new home. But what does this have to do with synthesizers? Well, I'm going to tell you something. I get a lot of emails from people, you know, private messages on Facebook and comments and things like that where people are just frustrated with their lives because they feel like they're kind of like spinning their wheels, like they're stuck in the snow and all they can do is just slip and slide around and end up in the same spot that they started out at. Well, let me tell you something. I learned something really important these last couple of weeks, and it really came to light this morning when I ran into somebody just like myself. I was talking with somebody about getting something done. Doesn't matter what it was, but the point was is that this person had every excuse in the book not to even try. Okay, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do this particular thing. I know how to do this, but I can't do that. And I'm going to need to do this before I can do that. Okay, you get the point. Sounds familiar? Because I was doing the same thing when it came to getting a new home. But then I thought about something. You know what? I called a realtor and I told them, and I mean, this is so important. You have to be honest with people. You have to let people know that when you're talking with them, what your limitations are. Because you know what? Honestly, people want to be helpful. It is true. Now, I don't mean people want to help you go out and dig a ditch in 110-degree weather. Most people don't want to be that kind of helpful. But when it comes to knowledge, everybody's a know-it-all, right? Come on. And everybody wants to share how smart they are. So if you approach people, even in the world of synthesis, and you're open and honest with them and you let them know, look, I'm just starting out. I don't know what I'm doing. A lot of times, those who know what they're doing will give you some great pointers. The question is, are you willing to accept them or not? Now, with me, you know, I called a realtor. I said, I don't know anything about buying a house. It's been a long time since I bought one, and I've forgotten everything that I learned. You know, I know things have changed since the housing market crash, all that. I mean, it's been that long. And she told me, she said, look, the first thing you need to do is contact your banker and get qualified financially so that we can help you find the house that you can afford because of all these new regulations. Well, I did that. I called my banker, and you know what? I was upfront with them too. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to get started. Here I am. Help me out. And, you know, it took about a week or two for them to figure out everything that I was doing because I am self-employed and it can get kind of tricky with money and stuff. But you know what? They found me alone. And it was great because I could be open and honest that this is their territory, not mine. But I had to get started. I had to start something. The realtor wasn't going to call me. People don't sit around at realty companies saying, hey, I wonder if so-and-so needs a house. I should just call them randomly. No. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Too many people wait for their ship to come in. You've heard the expression, when your ship comes in, guess what? Your ship's not coming in. You're going to have to build your own ship and sail it out yourself because that's the only way. Now, I'm not saying that you can't win the lottery, and I'm not saying that things happen randomly in life because they do. There is such thing as good luck. I just don't call it good luck, okay? I mean, things happen. Good fortune happen. And it seems to happen to a lot of other people besides me in certain circumstances when it comes to big finance money. Most of the time, I've had to work for my money. All right. I've had to work for my relationships with other people. I've had to work for my marriage. I mean, marriage takes work, right? Some people get together and they're just so happy and everything's perfect. That's not true. But the point that I'm making is you have to start something. You have to start somewhere. You have to take one of your little feet, and you have to, in my case, big feet, and you have to move forward. You're not going anywhere if you don't do that. Now, there used to be an old Christmas movie, and in the movie, there was a song. And the song's lyrics were, you put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be moving across the floor. You put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. In other words, you have to get up and you have to do something. You have to move. You have to initiate. Because a lot of times, people around you are not going to initiate what you want done. Now, here's the important thing, okay? When it came to building my synthesizer, I know that there are people out there that are jealous of what I got. And I hate that because I don't want anybody to be jealous of anything that I have. I want people to be able to work for what they want. And before anybody out there thinks that you can't work for what you want because this bad thing happened to you and that bad thing happened to you, folks, you have no idea the things that I've gone through in my life that I had to overcome, get past, and work through in order to get. And I mean, I've told stories here about my divorce and losing everything. That's not even the half of it. And I am working on a mini biography that I'm going to be posting on my Patreon site, okay, for my patrons to view, to go through some of the things that, that I went through to get to where I am now. And by no means have I made it, okay? Success is not measured in a bank account. It's not measured with the big fancy car sitting outside. Believe me, I know doctors, I know lawyers, I know people with tons of money, I know millionaires, okay? And you know what? A lot of them, if not every one of them that I know, are miserable because they measure success in a different way, all right? So in order to get started, you have to ask yourself one thing. What do you need to do to get up and move and start something in your life right now? I'm going to tell you what the secret is right now when it comes to synthesis or anything else in your life. The one thing you have to realize, your goal is one simple thing: to be content and happy where you are at the moment, to make the best of whatever situation you are in right now, and to stop blaming other people for anything that is going on in your life. Yes, I get it. People can create drama, pain, suffering, hurt, you name it. People can destroy lives and they can be blamed. But if it's happened, it's done. Get away from those people that did it. Stay away from those people. Stay away from anybody that is friends with those people. Separate yourself from those people and move forward until you make a decision that you're going to make the best of where you are. You're never, ever going to be able to move forward. You want to know why? Because you have become your worst enemy. You don't need anybody else around telling you you cannot do it. You got yourself telling yourself that you can't do it. And that is not where you want to be. That is not where you want to be. The term I use is, woe is me. You don't want to be there. Now, I know you're thinking, I don't know your situation. And you're right, I don't know your situation. You could have a really horrific situation going on in your life right now. But you know what? You have to smell the roses, even if they're planted in a pile of dog poop. You just have to smell the roses. Because the alternative is a stinchy smell. And who wants to smell dog poop, right? The point that I'm making is that I get it. There's a lot of pain out there. There's a lot of people out there hurting. A lot of people get overwhelmed in their life as to what they need to do, where they need to start. But here's what I learned. People are willing to help you along the way by giving you information. You want to know why people fail along the way and end back up in the infinite loop? I'm going to tell you why. They don't listen to good advice. Look, I'm one to talk. A lot of times in the past, I wouldn't take people's opinion and mull them over. I'd be like, I was a know-it-all. Yeah, right. You don't know my situation. You don't know my life. Just take it with a grain of salt and walk away. You can't do that. You have to listen to people who have been there. You have to listen to people who have made it past those things that you're talking with them about. And here's the other thing. Don't whine because you hear yourself whine. If you whine about your situation, your brain is reinforced. If you have to say something negative about your life, try to add something positive to counter what you're saying negative. And believe me, it takes 3 positive things to counter 1 negative thought. Okay? So if you're speaking 1 negative thought, you need to come up with 3 positive things right after that to keep yourself moving in a positive direction, because mentally you're going to reinforce that negativity into your life just by speaking it. And I'll tell you what, I've heard people, they'll sit around and tell you about things that happened to them 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago and go on and on and on and just talk about, oh, this person did this and that person did that. Oh, I forgive them. Oh, yeah, I forgive them totally. Then why are you still talking about them? Unless you're making a vlog to help people out or writing a book to talk about your journey, why are you going to every single person on the planet and telling them everything that everyone has ever done to you? This isn't Jerry Springer. Your life is not Jerry Springer's show. It's not supposed to be full of drama. If you don't want it to be, you don't have to have it that way. There was this one guy that I knew. Oh my gosh, he was in a car accident. Well, it was a bike accident, car versus bike, and he lost because he was on the bike. And this accident happened like, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 12. You can catch up with this guy right now, this very moment, and he'll tell you all about that car accident, what happened to him. Woe is him. Oh, this accident, this lady, this person, they hit me, blah, blah, blah. I was this and I was that, and this operation and that operation. He goes through the whole story over and over again. Every single person that he meets, he tells the story of the car accident to. And you know what? He walks around like he's some kind of victim in life. Walks around and, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because I was hit on my bike. Ain't a thing wrong with him other than he's got a metal rod in his leg. He doesn't even walk with a limp. Okay, but this guy says, I can't do nothing because I was hit by this bike or this car on my bike. And I'm just saying, this guy's a whiner, and he's very capable. He's intelligent and he's skilled, but you know what? He's holding himself back. Total negativity. He lives with his grandma and grandpa. He's almost 30 years old. He's broker than broke. He's got nothing to call his own, no possessions at all. All he does is whine about what happened to him 10 years ago because it took 3 months out of his life to recover from it. So the rest of his life is just trash because of that? I mean, the guy's completely healed up other than there's a rod in his leg. Now, again, I told you guys, if you knew some of the things that I've been through in my life, it would totally blow your mind that I'm even here talking with you guys about some kind of inspiration. So when you're talking about synthesis and you're just building your studio, or you want to build a studio, or you've been in the middle of building a studio, you want to make music, you want to get out there and do live shows, whatever you want to do, start something. Start something. Get seen. Get heard. If somebody won't listen to you today, maybe somebody will listen to you tomorrow. Keep trying. Keep pushing. Keep knocking on those doors. Don't give up. Don't become a victim of yourself. And here's this. I got to tell you guys, this is so important. You're right when you say to yourself, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Your mommy, your daddy, they might give you sympathy. Your brothers and your sisters, they might listen to you. Your friends might let you cry on their shoulder. But honestly, you got to pick yourself up and you got to do something for yourself, no matter what it is. You have to try your hardest to do something for yourself. And one of the things that my wife and I do is we work with disabled people, not just because some of our family members are disabled, but because it is part of her profession. And I'll tell you something, I have the utmost respect for those who are disabled because, you know what, they have to overcome their disabilities and they have to make the best of life without the use of certain body parts, or at least the full functionality of certain body parts that a lot of people take for granted. okay? And I'm talking about people that we know that are in wheelchairs. We're talking about people that are quadriplegics. We're talking about people that really have been in a situation of disability from the day they were born, and some of them were never disabled, and then suddenly a car accident or a tragic accident of some type has put them in a position where they're paralyzed, and they're still making the best of their lives. So I'm speaking to a broad audience out here that I have seen the worst of circumstances in lives of people who have overcome, who can do this. And they did this first and foremost by changing the way that they think, by changing the way that they're receiving information into their brains from other people. And first and foremost, they took an initiative. They started something themselves. They didn't wait for someone to come to them and say, hey, would you like to do this? Now, I'm going to leave you with one more point. There's this guy that I know, and he found himself in a wheelchair, and he's almost 50, well, he is 50-something years old. He's in a wheelchair, and he came to me about 5 years ago, and he was speaking to me about how awful his life was and how he'd been in this rut for about, I think 7 years, because he was in this accident and it ruined his life, and it did. I mean, we're not saying that nobody's life is ruined by an accident, because an accident can ruin your life. And his family gave up on him. His friends gave up on him. They all called him a burden. They all called him a deadbeat. They were verbally abusing him, he told me. I don't know if that was the case or not, because I had no evidence of that. But these are the things he was sharing with me. And here's the thing. He disappeared for quite a while. But then recently here, this last few months, he's come back around. And guess what? Just listen to this. He's still in a wheelchair. But he's got income. He's on his way to buying a house. He's got all kinds of friends. He's got a social life. He's even been dating. And you know what it was all about? I said, how did you get all of this stuff? He says, I took your advice. I got up and did something. Now, literally, he didn't get up because he's in a wheelchair. And I don't mean to be funny about that or anything. But in his mind, he got up in his spirit. And the reason why I'm bringing this point out to you is because of this. He said, I rose up. My body couldn't do it, he said, but my soul stood up and said, this isn't you. You're not a quitter. Let's get something started. And he started knocking on doors. He started trying things. And then when that didn't work, he started banging on doors. He got heard. He got seen. He got help. And he stopped becoming what he never wanted to be in the first place. And that is a whiner. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings today. Man, I am a truth speaker because, like I said, I speak about myself. I was a whiner at one point in my life when something horrible happened to me. Woe is me, what's wrong? I was like that, and I know. And you know what? We have to be tougher than that because nobody else cares. You just lay there and die and become a rug for other people to stand and step on, or you get up and you do something and you start something for yourself and you're in charge of your dreams. If you want your dreams to come to life, then you have to take charge of your dreams and never hand them over to other people. The moment you hand your dream over to somebody else, it becomes their dream and they're going to change it to their vision, not yours. So that's my advice to you. And so if you have a dream about synthesis, make it happen. And you don't have to dream small. You don't have to dream big. You just have to dream. But then you have to do something. Otherwise, it's just a dream. And that's all it's ever going to be. Start something. Work at it. And if it don't come true tomorrow, if it don't come true next week, keep at it. You know why? Because people will tell you over and over again that you never reach where you want to be. If you don't want to be where you are now, you're never going to go where you want to be. Because the journey is the funnest part. Well, I ranted on long enough for you guys. But you know what? I love all of you guys. Leave your comments below. Share some thoughts with me. Share some of your journey with me and the others that are here. And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. It'll notify you of a new adventure. Join me over at patreon.com/PureAmbientDrone. Check out some of the videos that are going to pop up on the screen if they haven't already done so of my other stuff. And until next time, keep calm and synth on.